The deadly flash floods on the Nepal-Tibet border have now claimed 543 lives. More than 1,400 people are still missing. Risk from a lake formed on Nepal-Tibet border after a deadly mudslide seemed to be gradually decreasing. This after authorities in Nepal issued an urgent warning following reports that a dam upstream in Tibet has burst. Rescue operations on both sides of the border were briefly suspended. Rescuers had been searching for the missing after catastrophic flash floods and landslides 2 days ago. Debris has also formed two lakes on either side of the border, triggering fears of fresh floods. On Friday, rescue operations were first halted on the Tibetan side after a lake formed by a glacier collapse began to overflow. Hours later, Nepal reported that a water dam on the Tibetan side had breached again. Nepalese police issued an urgent warning asking security personnel, emergency teams and volunteers deployed in rescue and relief operations to suspend work immediately and evacuate to safe locations.
It was a market.
Okay.
It was a market, but it's not now.
Okay.
And everything just
collapse
in the blink of the eye. And my father was in there.
Okay.
And
Where?
there was
black
drum.
tank.
Yes.
Water
And
tank.
yes.
Okay.
He was there watching our house flooded, and everyone collapsed in the ground and died. And it was brutal.
Scientists say the most likely trigger was a glacier collapse in which a gigantic piece of ice broke off the glacier and fell into a river below, setting off a disastrous chain reaction that killed hundreds. Initial satellite analysis reportedly showed that a chunk of ice measuring almost 50 acres collapsed about 1.2 kilometers vertically. The impact registered as a magnitude 5.2 seismic event. This has renewed concerns over the risk from retreating glaciers and changing high-altitude catchments across the Himalayas, including parts of India. Mountain areas are also at risk of glacial lake outburst floods, also known as GLOFs. Glacial lakes form behind natural dams as a result of glacier melt and can cause catastrophic outburst floods if their natural dam walls are breached. More than 12,000 deaths have already been attributed to such floods globally. In 2021, a Himalayan glacier broke off and caused flash flooding in the Indian state of Uttarakhand, leaving 200 people dead or missing. India's Himalayan arc, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in the west, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand in the center, and Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh in the east, sits atop thousands of glacial lakes, many of them swelling year after year as glaciers retreat. There are more than 25,000 such glacial lakes across the wider Hindu Kush Himalayan region. At least 7,500 of these are in India, many of which pose risks of dangerous flash floods. Our correspondent Parivesh has sent us this report from Devghat Bazaar in Nepal's Nuwakot. Listen in.
Right now, we are standing away from Devghat Bazaar because heavy rain continue in the area and the Nepal army has advised people to move safer locations. But the visual behind the disaster are truly devastating. In Nepal, Nuwakot district, Devghat Bazaar has been left battered by flood water and debris. As we entered the market, even reaching the famous Shiva temple was difficult. The entire area is covered in mud and rubble. Moving further inside, we saw homes damaged, business burned under debris, and clear sign of the powerful surge that swept through the region. This is where the Bhotekoshi river from Raswa becomes the Trishuli river. Along the river bank, the marks left by the flood tell tragic story. Some people from the area are still missing. Search operations are underway. The Nepal Army, municipal teams, dog squad and drone are all being used to locate survivor and missing rescue effort continue. With camera person Rajesh Dubedi, Parivesh Vatsan, Devi Ghat, Bazar, Nuwakot, Nepal.
The tragedy in Nepal comes at a sensitive time, ahead of a pilgrimage and festival season in the Himalayan country. Around this time of the year, the Nepal-Tibet border is usually bustling with tourists and pilgrims who are on the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. On Wednesday, this particular region suffered the most from the devastating floods. According to Nepal's former Minister for Forest and Environment, Madhav Prasad, the influx of people in this area was high, not just because of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, but also because of festivals like Raksha Bandhan and Shravan Purnima. These festivals are considered auspicious for taking holy baths in lakes around the region, such as Gosen Kunda and Damodar Kund. The country would have...
full moon is for Hindus. If they reach in Mansarovar on full moon and it's auspicious, so that's why a huge crowd was there. So many tourists were planning to enter to Tibet on 26th.
The country would have today marked the Janai Purnima festival with fanfare. Instead, it is being celebrated silently with priests tying protective threads around devotees' wrists. Several other festivals like Diwali and Chhath are around the corner. It is unlikely Nepal would recover fully from the devastation anytime soon. Houses have been buried underwater and mud. Bridges have been swept away. Scores of families have been left without homes and livelihoods. Many have lost their loved ones. Humanitarian assistance is pouring in, but the road to recovery will take significant time.
There is no place to stay, no place to eat. I don't know where to go or where to stay. I am hungry, but I don't have any food to eat. Everything is finished. We have nothing left.